It's Leela.
And Bo.
And welcome back to our channel.
My channel.
Today we're going to be recapping and reviewing episode 2 of Boys to Planet, the first round of auditions for the C group, or C Planet.
Yeah, C Planet. It's a whole other reality.
It's a whole other
And Limjack is, or what was his name?
Limjack.
Limjack is the leader.
He is the leader of this reality.
He says, no.
He does say no. First, I wanted to say thank you for everyone for clicking on the video, for listening, and for all the positive feedback we got on episode 1. I really appreciate it. It's really exciting to, be active on the channel again, have some people returning that remember us from the Girls Planet days, and just to share our excitement about this show with everyone.
Yeah, it's been fun so far.
Yeah.
We've done podcasts since 2007. And we never, I know, we just, and it's always fun because you find people to talk about something you like.
Yeah. So this week, like I said, was the first round of the C group audition. So it's like the first C group episode because their K group and C group are separate to start.
Yes.
We don't know when they meet up. I don't know if it's going to be next episode or I think it's going to be further out.
Kitty cat.
Whenever they finally meet up. But yeah, so entirely new group of contestants, some new judges, including Xiaoting.
I mean,
Yay!
Come on, man.
I'm so excited to have her as a judge.
When she showed up, because I don't think we knew she was going to be a judge.
I knew she was going to be a judge.
Did you? Sometimes you think, it's an idol, so maybe they're almost like the host or something. But no, you forget. She is a killer dancer.
And she's been through this before.
Oh, my God.
Like, she was an excellent judge. Her commentary was really good, and she was hard on them. And I appreciated that.
Well, and also just go back and watch her Olympics dance routine,
Yes.
and you'll realize she is a skilled dancer.
Yeah.
So that was really cool that she was a dancer.
having her as a judge.
And she's so pretty. Like, I feel sorry for those boys, those straight boys.
They're gonna be getting yelled at by her in the next
They won't
episode.
care. They'll be like, whatever.
They're gonna be getting screamed at by her.
It's gonna have hearts in their eyes. She's so pretty. I like that she got angry. So cool.
Anything else on this before we get into the performances on the episode 2?
Yes, I did want to announce some good news. So for the last 2 days, you might know this, Leela, because you live with me and we are married. We're a married couple. The cats probably even know this because I talked about it so much. I have had a song stuck in my head. And as I give you a hint, see if they're in the comments, tell me if you picked it up. But I could only remember it going da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then so Leila said it's Psycho by Red Velvet. And I said, no. I could not remember the song. It drove me absolutely crazy. And then I remember it went da 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 da, and it drove me crazy. And then I remember it's a small group. It's a girl group. And I kept looking, so I start looking through all my girl group stuff on Spotify. I find Stacy, who's one of my favorite artists. Monster Stacy is the best group, one of the best. What's a Pretty Monster? What was that album? The Monster one.
Pretty Monster.
Anyway, you know what I'm talking about there.
No, I don't know.
That album and before, it was literally some of the best K-pop I think I've ever heard. And so I listened to every song in their catalog, and I would skip to the middle, and it turned out to be Same. So as soon as I heard Same, dang, I was like, I literally felt the weight off my back. That I'm serious. I felt so, I had blanked out from work. I was worried about this. It was like weighing on my soul. So I felt better until we get home and we're going to record the podcast and we say, hey, let's check out the performances again. Mm-hmm. Just to kind of, crash before the crunch.
Tap, tap.
And now I got tapping on me. Tap. And so, but at least I know who it is. It's not going to bother me much, but it's repeating in my brain constantly. So good news.
Okay.
New song.
So let's move on into the performances for this episode. First up, we have the first Shanghai team. I think there's more than one Shanghai team. And this team did On and On. I'm not familiar with the song, so I'm not sure who the original
same
artist for this one is. And this kid with the blonde hair, with the Chinese contestant names, we're really going to struggle. So I asked your forgiveness.
Apologize.
Forgiveness early. Zhang Qing?
I think so, yeah. Was that him?
With the blonde hair.
Excuse me.
Oh my goodness. He was doing the most. The entire episode, the first half, was him doing the most.
Not Ricky 2.0, Ricky minus 0.5. Like,
yes.
Ricky was...
He wishes he was Ricky.
That's a big compliment. Flattery. Imitation is the greatest form of flattery. But here's what I thought. His thing is he's saying, I'm sexy.
Yes.
I was a sexy baby, which I thought was a strange thing to say because babies really shouldn't be sexy. But he could have, if he looked like that, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
He was sexy this. So I started to think, you know what, though? It's starting to really like endear me to this kid when he started saying, "Know what? You're sexy too, and you're sexy too." And then I pictured instantly in my head this whole narrative of him like going up to like the more awkward kid who's crying, and he's like, "You know what? Inner sexiness. You're sexy. We're all sexy. You just got to feel the sexiness." And I started thinking, this is going to be inspiring. It becomes like this meme of positivity. And I thought, who is this reminding me of? I couldn't think of it. And I thought, oh, is it that Ted Lasso guy with his beliefs stuff? No, it wasn't that. I kept searching as I do with songs stuck in my head, and I came up. It was Oscar the Grouch. Yes, if you watch, he did it on Portlandia and other shows. He tells you to embrace your inner grouch, your inner grumpiness, and you start to realize, you know what? I can be grumpy once in a while. Sometimes you do feel bad, and I thought this kid reminded me of Oscar the Grouch.
I feel like it's. The first couple times he does it, it's like, okay, that's kind of funny. He keeps doing it, and you're like, wait, this is getting to be a little bit weird. And then he keeps doing it, and then it's like, it starts to get a little bit annoying. And then he keeps doing it again, and then he uses it, like you said, as like an encouragement word for everyone.
Yes.
And then it like turns the quarter from being like really god-awful cringy to almost endearing. Like you said.
The edit doesn't help. Like, showing them repeat it a million times.
It almost, like... He like really went into cringe territory, and then it kind of like came back, and it's kind of like this. Like, I am interested in his psychology. is it? I think it's like a fake it till you make it. Like, if you don't believe it in yourself, you have to keep saying to yourself, I can do this. I can do this. That's his way of saying, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this.
To be fair,
and hyping himself up for the performance.
If that was me saying I'm sexy, some people would be like, okay, that's cool. And if I kept repeating it, it'd be like, you're crazy. Hey, you're not supposed to agree. But he is a good-looking kid.
Yeah, he is. So, I mean, there's no question. You don't have to say it a million times.
Right, and I think he was obviously putting on a bit of a thing, and to be fair, he's got a meme.
Vibes,
he's got,
and also to be the meme.
It wasn't so calculated. I think he was really just kind of doing a thing he's used to doing. So when he did his song, I thought they were 2 stars, all of them. I don't think they were. I don't think they
2
did.
And then 1 and then
yeah.
1.
See, I agree with that.
Like, their performance, like, he was really hot. The energy was there. That he was very excited, and he was like really giving it his all. I think just the like skill level in the singing and a little bit of the dancing was just like not super polished.
Yes.
But the energy level was there. Like, he was really trying to like give it his all. And so I do appreciate that.
If he would have smoothed it out, he would have had.
It was just the vocals.
We talked about Cool the last episode podcast. I always go back to So Richie, where she came out and was so unique looking, but beautiful and everything. But then she did. I don't remember it being like a sexy, a very feminine, sexy dance. But it was just she was so cool. And she did that by herself. I think if he would have just calmed down a bit, been a little, I'm not saying smile, it makes you prettier, nothing like that, but felt a little bit like he wasn't trying. Because when you seem like you're trying hard, you get nervous. It makes you look nervous, I should say.
That's how he releases his nervous energy.
Saying you're sexy.
Is by trying really hard and like repeating.
Which I'm cool with. I think,
everybody has their thing. But yeah, so like I appreciated the energy.
The voices weren't bad either.
He is really, strikingly unique looking. On the show, so he's very memorable. I give him that.
Yeah, no, I like. By the way, on the 2 planets, I love the red better than blue. The red is really cool. It's really, really cool. But no, good group. I think I agree with these scores 100%, including his. The good news is he'll probably drop the sexy thing and get serious, and maybe he'll get.
I don't know. That preview for next episode showed him crying in the hallway. I don't know what happens.
I mean, who knows? I don't know. Interesting kid though.
And next up, we have a trainee from Chromosome Entertainment, which is Lei from EXO's company.
It's a Chinese label or Chinese company?
His company.
Okay, cool.
Again, I'm forgetting. I meant to write it down. The name of the Chromosome trainee that last year I really loved. It was the dancer. He was C Group, the really good dancer. Anyway, he was from Chromosome. But this time we have Chin Kai-wen. Doing a solo performance of Get a Guitar from Rise.
Yes.
And this was one where it's like the skill level was there. He was good.
I think so,
like,
too, as I agree.
Was I like moved by their performance? Am I like, do I stand? Not necessarily.
No, but
like,
that song is kind of a mid-tempo. It's kind of a mid-emotion song, and it's poppy, but it's not like cutesy. So it's not really. It's a hard song. It's hard to pull off that kind of mid thing and still make it entertaining because he can't really dance hard because it's a happy song. He had to strum an air guitar at one. It's hard to kind of. It looks a little cheesy sometimes.
I feel like if I like the song, I grade on the curve.
Yes.
And this is a song I'm not familiar with.
It was a fine song, and I think he pulled it off well. He has a good look, and his clothes weren't too outlandish and crazy and stuff.
No, he did well.
So I completely agree with the 2-star. The thing about guys like this though is they kind of just it's kind of like in Drag Race or something. You know, they get safe, and then all of a sudden
a 2-star is a safe.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, bam, they blow up. So maybe he'll do that. I think he's got ability though. He had what they were arguing about the last one, foundation. He has a great foundation.
I think. On this episode, the trainees really thought the judges were being super extra harsh.
I didn't think that at all. Now we didn't see all their rejections though. They kind of fast forwarded some.
There were a lot of them.
Yes.
A lot of rejections. They were pretty stingy with the all-star rating for this team, for this group in general. But I didn't think.
Now, and we talked about this before, and I'm only bringing it up because I'm an English speaker, but also the judge brought it up. The Korean speaking, the main singer guy, who's really good. I think it was him, and he said, I am concerned because of their pronunciation for Korean words. It can be distracting as a judge.
It's not for us because we don't know the difference.
Exactly. I think you can still tell, but that's why I wonder what Xiaoting was saying. She speaks like 3 languages now. She does English, Mandarin, and
It was
Korean.
good to have her there because she could speak to them in Mandarin if needed.
I thought he was fine, and it's good to have her, but it was 2-star safe.
Yeah. Next up, we have the other Shanghai team that did Devil Game from ZB1.
Yes.
Which is a really good song, by the way.
ZB1 has become like Kepler and ZB1 both later in they've really put in some great songs.
This group actually had 2 all-stars. Chen Bowen.
In the middle there?
Who was the vocalist. He's kind of the shorter one. He has
Bo.
lighter hair.
Yeah, his name Bo.
We'll be calling him Bo from now on. Bo. And then Fan Ji, who was the kind of taller one here in the front, who also had both of them had really stable vocals.
Yes.
And Bo was really good vocals.
Bo overall, I think, maybe because he was shorter, he does get kind of put in the shadow a bit, whatever, but I think his dancing and everything, if you really watch him, I think he was probably the most skilled in the group. Mm-hmm. But this song is a very high falsetto, which is so hard to do, not only while dancing, but just to do it effectively, because it can just sound so weak, so easy. But a lot of modern K-pop and a lot of pop has a lot of falsetto in it. Mm-hmm. And it can just sound so bad. It can just really, sound weak because there's not a power to it. It doesn't have any bass. Mm. They really did a good job, and it really matches the song. And I think that they actually, of all the songs we saw tonight, probably had the hardest song. Maybe even combined with the dancing, because the dancing wasn't easy. It was more sensual and stuff, but it was still hard. Mm-hmm. And that falsetto was very hard. He did his high note, and I also noticed that we were talking about this from the Korean group and the C group, Planet. A lot of the singers are giving themselves a moment to hit the high note. They kind of take a break from the dance.
Yes.
I don't know, did he get on his knees? Was he the one? I can't remember, but one guy got on his knees. They kind of are giving themselves the room to sing, because if you're dancing real hard and you try to hit that's where lip syncing comes in, because you're not going to do it. And I don't know if the trainers or the choreographers or somebody has given them permission, quote unquote, to go ahead and stop for a second and hit that note, but make it look emotional, and then go back to the dancing.
Sometimes, a lot of the time, for good choreography, they design it that way.
Okay, good.
For the main vocalist to have that high note.
Well, because this kid did it.
Still.
Yeah, he did it, and Bo did it, and I thought he was. To me, he was the most talented.
Yeah,
but this was a great group. They're not that model kid who's on the posters. They love that look. They don't have that look.
Yeah.
But somebody should scout these kids, or probably will. I loved Bo. He was really cool dancer.
And next up, we have Beijing team doing Pump It Up. We forgot to rewatch this performance.
I don't need to.
It's not as fresh in my mind.
I do not need to.
But I put it in here We generally don't review the like 0-star performances because there's really not much to say and the contestant isn't on the show anymore. But this one I did put in here because Sun Ji Young stood out.
It looks like a Cubs
just,
jersey or something.
Yeah, maybe. He's in the white jersey here. Stood out a lot as just like being super adorable.
Yeah, I'm spoiled from Nako. There is no ever matching that level of adorability, and we got to remember she was put in a lower class and worked her ass off and got the top.
That's
and
true.
it'd be the goddess that Nako is, the cute goddess that Nako is to this day.
Mm-hmm.
The cute assignment can be real weird. He's 19 years old. He wasn't 15,
He looks
it's
really
usually
young
real.
for him.
He does, of course, and I don't think he's really comfortable in that role. And I have to say also, after watching the performance, I think we watched it twice, I don't agree with him being an all-star. I wasn't blown away. Unless there's something, maybe I'll go back and watch it again, but I felt like he was one of the weaker ones in the group. I just don't think they were that. I thought they were all maybe 2 stars.
No, I think comparatively to his teammates, he did a lot better.
I guess.
So that probably made him look a little better than he would have otherwise.
I mean, but he wasn't even doing crazy cute stuff.
But this was like very cutesy, and like he kind of got pigeonholed to this cutesy thing. We'll see as it goes along if he stays in that stereotype, because you can kind of like get overlooked whenever you're kind of stereotyped like that.
Yes, but I think
you don't have any versatility.
And again, I'm not. Excuse me, I'm not trying. I can only judge by what I've seen so far. I don't think he's that skilled. I think he's going to struggle. Now, remember, Nako was in the bottom and kicked everybody's ass. Nako's a goddess of dance and
but he's
singing.
not in the bottom. He got an all-star.
He can only go down from here, maybe.
That's true. When you do get the all-star, you can only go down.
I just don't think all-star was right. Maybe they're live in person. You see it differently. Maybe he sounded steady. I didn't really hear or see anything crazy, but. Nice kid. He seemed really cool. He seemed to be kind of overwhelmed by it, which is an endearing thing. He seemed to be kind of starstruck and whatever, and a little tired because it's an 18-hour shooting day.
Yeah.
But no, he's fine. They were fine. The cutesy thing has to be real. We'll talk about somebody who pulled off the cute later.
There's a difference between like cutesiness, and charm.
True.
And charm for me is number one. And we'll get to that.
Especially when the guy's 19, and he's going doop doop. That it's like, it's
it's a thing. It's an idol thing.
I guess, but
okay. Next up, we also forgot to rewatch.
Why we don't need to rewatch
Team
it?
Ningbo. Doing Turn Up again, a song I'm not as familiar with. And this is the team that are all Taekwondo athletes.
I mean, they're
So
incredible.
they were doing incredible acrobatics.
Hold on,
and stunts.
they weren't taekwondo only athletes. I mean, of course they can do it, which means they can kick your butt probably. But they were showmen. What was the word? They showed off
An
taekwondo.
exhibition group.
Yes,
They're like
Cirque du Soleil stuff.
To go and do like exhibition, whatever. So they were doing crazy flips, like the craziest flips I've seen on the show. Like that guy went really high up in the air over people. Like
I just
it was I was like, oh my god, someone's gonna
because
get
remember
hurt.
in those taekwondo things they often have matting, a mat.
Yeah, I know, this is like a shiny floor.
It really scared me.
And I think it was Lin Shinnan, here on the far left, who was the person that the episode really focused on getting to know from this group, and they were like, he's been in a movie with Jackie Chan, and he's got like 300 trophies from
And 1 million
Taekwondo.
followers on
and
something.
he looked at all of his like trophy case.
He's a badass.
And he was like really like confident.
Yeah, good.
He was really cute and like really just like, I'm the best and look at me, and comes in, I'm so amazing. And then they do their performance, and in their first flip he like tripped and went on his butt.
I almost thought he hurt
fell?
himself. It looked like maybe the floor slipped him up a little bit.
It's a shiny slick floor.
I think when you have raw power of a 20-year-old, like everybody is stronger when they're 20, and then you have tons of ability mixed with nerves, that is the possibility for getting hurt because you get tightened up. So
it was a little bit tough. I mean, to judge the performance outside of just all the cool acrobatics and dance stuff.
Yeah.
But the other members got higher scores. I think he got the lowest score.
They said because
of that.
they said we have to give it to you because you messed up.
But to be fair, he got up and continued.
Oh, of course, he's
he
a pro.
looked a little rattled, but he definitely didn't stop
No.
or like give up. He like kept going, but he like got the lowest score, and apparently since then has dropped out of the show.
Now,
So I was like kind of frustrated because I was like, I liked you. I was going to root for you.
I think he would have been popular.
Why did you? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Why did you drop out of the show?
I wouldn't call it bragging. I think he was proud, and that's cool. He has some real skills and some real achievements at such a young age. I too would be proud, and because he's talking to the others and say, "Yeah, I have like 1 million followers."
Well,
Yeah,
was
would
he
you?
just wanting to be on TV and not really wanting to
but
be
I'm
an
saying
idol?
during that segment,
did you
he also
quit?
said I had to make room on my schedule for this.
Okay.
Now I do believe him, so it's very possible.
Well, if you make it into a K-pop group, that's going to be your schedule, my man.
Well,
Why
but
did you come on the show?
I'm just saying that I
Anyway.
think he probably said, you know what, maybe
It
not for
felt
me. I'm going to
a little
go.
clout chasey to learn that after the fact that he like left. The
And we
show.
know for sure he left the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was going to put him in my top 8. And
Yeah.
His name was not on the list.
I think it is a disappointment because they were all so skilled
I was gonna be a
physically
fan.
that I thought, I'm not saying this, but maybe you'd have a group that is a bit Monster X-y, a little bit more sexy, or some little bit more butch. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, but and these guys. I mean, could you imagine a group of those guys? It'd scare everybody, but it'd be fun.
Yeah.
They could do some really like who's the one in ZB1 who was like the young athlete kid. He was just kind of tough looking, but he was a real sweetheart. I think that would be an interesting story. Have a bunch of his buddies who do incredibly physical stuff.
Yeah. So again, they kind of gave all the airtime to him, and then he's not around. So we didn't get to know the other team members as much. But they like got relatively good placements.
Yes.
So I look forward to seeing more from them.
Obviously, they would be able. Their vocals sounded, I thought, pretty good and stuff. So all the scores I agree with, they weren't bad at all. He probably would have been a 3 if he would have made that landing.
Probably.
Because they said that, but it's a shame. They have a lot of skill, but the remaining 3 are still there, so that's really cool.
Yeah. Next up, we had 2 members from Encode doing TXT's Crown. And I think this was the label that is owned by one of the judges, so it was
Yes,
like
it is.
biased or whatever.
So I have something to say about that.
He was like very much like, okay, you better make me proud.
Okay, so I don't know. Maybe the listening audience is not all 15-year-old girls or whatever, boys, and is a little older like me. But back in the day, especially in the 80s, you had nothing to do but go to the movies, right? There's no internet, so you go to the movies a lot. And a classic cliche is the protagonist is running out of the office finally, and the director of the movie or the boss is like, "You'll never work in this town again." That old cliche, right? And it was almost always in a humorous, like a comedy or something like that. But it was always about the system, the kind of harsh system of Hollywood and how it treated blacklisting actors and stuff like that, and kicking them out of studios and blah blah blah. K-pop has had similar stories before of just no, I don't want to say mistreatments and all that, but contract stuff or keeping a kid locked into a contract. So these 2 kids come out here, and he owns the label. He isn't working there. He owns the label, right? That these are his kids. And so you felt immediately they've got to do well, and how is he going to feel if they do not do well? They did well, but
no. So they come out, and Ji Hao has been a trainee much longer than Sin. Sin had only been a trainee for a few months.
Yes.
So you were like, oh, okay, the newer trainee is probably going to struggle more.
Yes.
And it actually turned out like the opposite. I thought Sin did like a good job,
Yes.
especially for someone who's so new.
Well, what I was saying though is, I think this was before the solo guy later, right? Who I'll connect it. But what I'm saying is, I think this really irked him, and he didn't really let it out. Although he does later, and we'll talk about that. So I was like, okay, he was actually pretty nice to this kid, but I could just see him kind of stewing a bit.
But they gave him no stars and sent him packing.
Well, he kind of deserved that. The kid in the red and blue sweater, I think, did way better, and he was a newer trainee, right?
Yes.
So give him 2 stars. I agree with that. The other kid, you just can't put him alongside somebody who was there less time and did so much better. And not only from just natural talent, I think there's a work ethic maybe going on there. So I think the owner of that CEO was embarrassed that his kid, after he'd been paying for this kid's rent and stuff, came out and did bad. So we'll get to the rest of that part of that story, but it really, this whole arc really kind of irked me. But they were fine. I agree with the 2 stars on that kid. The kid on the left went home. I don't even think he tried to do a test, did he?
He did.
Oh, and he wasn't. He was a guitar.
It was just the vocals were just not there. They were just not there. It didn't sound like someone who'd really trained
Right.
still.
The kid on the right also had that thing that we've talked about where he projected. If you're not that great as a singer, at least project and make it seem like you have a basis for getting the sound out there. And if you can't do either of those, dance your ass off. You can't do any of that, be charming as hell. Become a meme. There's a hierarchy of what you need to do. And this kid on the right did fine. The kid on the left, when you don't do really anything thrilling at all, you go home. But I think the CEO is pissed, and we'll come back to what.
Yeah. And
Speaking
the
of which,
storyline goes directly into the performance of Sun Hengyu, an individual trainee doing the song Never. I believe he said he had been previously in a small K-pop group that had maybe since disbanded, if I remember the story correctly.
This was after those two kids, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so. And he had said to that particular judge who owned that company, you know, I've met you before because at a music show when I was there, when I was in my group, and do you remember me? And he's like, no.
So, CEO owner's pissed off. If it was out of order, it doesn't matter. This kid comes out and says, I was in Blanky, which is a kid's sounding group name, but whatever. And then they play this sob story about how, oh no, he had to go to work for a living. Not that it's sad that he had to go to work and didn't make it his dream, but there's nothing wrong with working and working, doing dishes. They always, you know, it's like, no. This kid worked because he's doing what it takes to get by, to continue on his dream. Edited or not, it was a hell of a good story. Yes. Fantastic story. And so, but then you're thinking, this kid is going to suck, and everybody's going to say, you know what, come back next time, and it's going to be that kind of a story, right? But then he says, do you remember me? I met you before. He walks up to, it's like he's walking up to him at a Hollywood elite party. He says, hi, sir, I met you before on the set of Titanic 2 or whatever, The Rise of Titanic or whatever. And the guy turns around and he says, I don't remember you. You know, and then what did he say? He said, "Here's hoping."
I hope you do something.
Here's something that'll make me remember. Now, as soon as he said that,
it was kind of savage.
As soon as he heard that, I heard, "You're never going to work in this town again." Just out of sheer you exist, and you're on the lower caste or whatever it is, you're never working around. Brutal. You don't look at me. It felt like that to me. Now, I also had to think. Calm down, Bo. This is a children's show. It could have been the translation. Sometimes it's not.
It sounded brutal.
Well, the reaction this kid gave him was like a punch in the face. If you watch it, he kind of took his breath out, and he said, "Oh, okay," but he didn't go, "I'm sorry, sir. You know, don't have to be a jerk or what." He just said, "Okay, thank you. You know, I'm sorry. Yes, sir." And then he performs and does one of the best
ones of the day.
Most balanced, I'd say. Emotional. He rapped, he sang, he danced.
Yes.
All good. At least good enough for the show.
Very solid vocals, very good vocals. I was like, dang, that's live? Like, he sounded really good.
Right.
Like, he's got the skills.
Right. And so then the rapper starts crying, and he couldn't figure out why. It's like, dude, it's okay to cry out of emotion. Like, you don't have to be so hard, man. Like, he has a great story. The song had a kind of a bittersweet sound to it. Mm-hmm. And it reminded me of in Girls Planet, we were talking about this, where they're doing the dance off and it's all silly. And the one girl, I can't remember her name, I'm sorry, Mo, I think it was Mo was her name. And she just starts dancing crazy, but she's going nuts. Mm-hmm. Like, and everybody starts crying because this girl's going nuts. She's like doing a flash dance, crying and dancing kind of thing. It was so...
Unproduced?
On Girls Planet.
Girls Planet?
I think it was Mo on Girls Planet. But either way, somebody correct me in the comment. But she's just going crazy. And like all these girls start crying, and they don't know why. And it's like because she's letting out her emotion and dance. It was a really wonderful moment, a really neat moment for K-pop. And when that guy said that to this kid, I thought, I hate this judge. And then I thought, all in my head in 2 seconds, mind you, I thought, guess what, big fish in a little pond judge? Outside of this little pond, there's not very many household names from K-pop. There are 3 or 4.
Yeah.
2 or 3. 1 or 2.
To be fair, I don't recognize him. I'm not familiar with his music.
Neither do I, at all. I knew Shouting and I knew the other judges, right? So I was like, man, you kicked this kid before he was even down. Like, on the way down, you kicked him. And then he was, you know, it was such a dirty thing to say. Then I had to calm down. And I said, probably translation, whatever. The kid does his dance, and it was emotional. And the judge got up and clapped and said, and I thought, if he doesn't say this, I swear to God, I'm going to hate this guy. And he said, you know what, I do apologize. You just gave me something. I will remember this. It's a good line, too. Yeah. I thought, he had to have it in his head. But I thought that was fantastic. It was the greatest story of the series so far.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just made up from editing. The kid really performed well.
Yeah.
So, All-Star we agree with.
Yes.
I think he needs to gain a little muscle mass, get a little, he's so thin. He looks a little like he's worked a lot. Yeah. But man, if he doesn't make it in, kids like this don't make it in, there's no hope for the future. But I think somebody will scout this kid. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, the mean judge for that moment, who's I now think is probably, he apologized, mm-hmm. so that's cool. He actually said about some of the other kids, he's like, I want to scout these kids,
Mm-hmm.
And I think he was thinking about this kid. He's like, man, I could scout this kid. If you don't make it on this show, watch him scout that kid, because
Mm-hmm.
he had such a great story.
Yeah, it was good.
He could be a soloist.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He could be a soloist.
Oh my God, these guys.
And then from Bill Entertainment and / another name that I don't remember, we have Lim Jack and Nyan Bo Hang, another Bo, we'll just call him Bo, Bo 2, doing Tap from Taeyong, and
from NCT, right?
yes.
Okay, so we do not like Jack. Jack needs to go home.
Like, anyone who's listened to anything we've ever done could probably see this coming from a mile away. But Lim Jack, I stand from now until the end of time. I stand. This is my favorite. He is my one pick over the other K-Group kid from last week. Lim Jack, vote for Lim Jack. Put him in your top 8. I stand. Okay. The story before they performed was that he's like super talkative and was like annoying everyone. You remember he was sitting in the break room and said, "What if I have to?"
Oh wait, we have. Well, you do what Little Nas X did. He pooped before he came on stage, and they came out and said, "Sorry guys, I had to poop." He was like 10 minutes late, and the audience was like, "Yay!" Okay, so to be fair, he's Australian. They're both Australian. No, Australian, Chinese, Australian.
Bo 2 is American and Chinese,
right.
I assume, and Jack is Australian.
So
Chinese, I assume.
yes, but did Jack have a little bit lesser of an Australian accent? I can't remember, but
he has an accent, but it's very,
interesting.
Like, minor.
Okay, so
yeah.
Culturally, between people who are from America or maybe in Australia,
having someone be a little bit like extroverted and loud and silly, and he was like making jokes, is like, I think for us, like normal, and like for me, like attractive. Like that's what you want to see.
Outgoing,
a little silly and crazy.
An idol.
American fans love that in idols. I think they were like, by the time the performance was over, at the end they were like, get off stage.
Right.
They were a little annoyed with his loudness.
All you've got to do is watch the previous 3 contestants come out and how they act. They're very polite, very respectful, because they push that
very
age
demure,
thing.
Very mindful.
And I will say, I think that's endearing. But at some point, come on, he's there to entertain. If anybody had a problem with it, come on, have a sense of humor. But I really believe Jack is just a little hyperactive kid. He's 19 or something like that, and he was just he was just like
he's the kid that was too hyperactive, so his parents put him in dance class to give him something to do.
Make me spit.
And then they're like, go try out for the idol show. You know what I mean? That's the vibes it gives me. But aside from all of that, the skills are there. He was great. He put on a show, the full performance, facial expressions, everything was good. And Bo 2, rapping?
Bo 2,
very
Bo
solid.
2 was, I think, overshadowed by Lim Jack, which is a bit of a shame, because I think Bo 2 is significantly more talented, I think. And Lim Jack said this. He said he tells me when I'm doing wrong and stuff. They had a whole segment of that. I'm not saying talented, but just more. He's been at it longer. That's all it is. And what's cool is he was letting his friend tell him what to do. I think Bo 2's voice was better, his dancing was better, his rap was better.
Yeah, he's one of the better rappers we've seen thus far, because he has like a deeper tone.
Oh, it's nice.
Which really is nice for being a rapper. I feel like that, like, he was getting the work done, but like, and has a really great tone. I think with just a little bit of finesse and like some finesse on his flow, he could be a really, really good.
He's just
like the potential is really there.
He's just got the what do they call it? He's just farming aura more, I guess. Jack don't care about aura at all. He's like, my aura is whatever I want, you know. He's like, wah! Okay, so when he got All-Stars, Lim Jack, I actually thought I think they gave out too many All-Stars personally for everybody.
No.
I don't think Lim Jack was an all. Well, hold on. I don't think he was at first, but now that we watched it again, I think twice now, I thought, you know what's bothering me is he's not snapping his like when he's dancing. But then I recognize, why is that? It's not bothering, but I just got so used to when they dance. A lot of the dancers are so like they're like you know, like those Taekwondo guys. It's like you can hear them snapping. Yeah. And I thought, you know what?
Just having fun.
Right, because I thought that's what he's doing. He's matching
having
the song.
Fun.
He's actually matching it. He's doing the cutesy thing that previous kid, who's the cute kid, quote unquote, couldn't do. Mm-hmm. Because this is how you get up there, and you'd be a little bit annoying, sure, but you know, to a judge, but you do a cute thing without being sappy and silly. He's having a good time.
Yes.
All his body language, his silliness with the judges, laying on the freaking ground, which don't do that, but still, you know, it was really endearing, and he matched the song. So that tells me that he, as goofy as he seems and like yet loud, he's paying attention. He's probably got some skills. But I do think he'll struggle a bit in the show. We'll see. But I have a feeling
they show him in the cut of the next episode struggling. That doesn't mean that
no editing.
That, you know, that could be a storyline. But yeah.
But you don't really question why somebody's endearing or somebody is charming. You know, it's worked for some very bad people in this world. They've charmed all sorts of people, especially here in America. But you just know when somebody's charming. And he has it in spades. The Bo too just kind of had to sit back and just be like, all right, well, this is Jack's show now. I'm just going to do the song. I'll let Jack do it. And his facial expressions were great, but they weren't too much. He did the cutesy stuff. Really, really cool. I don't know that he's my favorite because we tend to have different favorites. I figured he would be yours. But he's just a charming kid. Super charming. But, you know, the thing is he's a good-looking guy. He could pull off. Adorable. He's going to be able to pull off other looks and stuff. So cute. Really did a good job. And I think the fact that he had a good time is what made them go, all right, he is an all-star because he's showing that
because everyone
he's
else
still
was so stiff and afraid and serious. To have someone come and have fun and like give you a show is like a revelation in these programs.
It's also possible that some of the ones they were like looking down, like, you guys just look sad. I think it was the last two we'll talk about. They were like, you just look sad or whatever. And I thought, yeah, that's after 9 years of training or whatever. Jack is new to this, so maybe he hasn't had it beat out of him yet. But I'm hoping he never.
Break his spirit.
I hope never, because typically I'm kind of this personality like him, as you can tell from this podcast. I've met these people before. I know these people before. That's just how they are. They will always be like that. It's very, very endearing, but it can also be what keeps them going through these trials. So, I was really impressed with both of them. I thought this was a really cool group.
Yeah, they did amazing.
It's going to be sad if they get separated, though.
And then the end, we have the company Nauer with two trainees, Zhang Jihao and Zhao Anshin, doing Fever from In Hyphen. And I think Anshin right now is like super popular. He's
the model kid, right?
The one on the left, just being super popular for just having like the perfect visuals.
He looks like we were saying one of the kids out of Demon Hunters. Xbox. You know, he looks like he walked out of a manga.
So they came and they of course they did a really good job. It was very skilled. I really liked.
I don't remember.
Song.
They didn't have a sob story or anything, did they?
I don't think so.
No.
I
think it was just all about him being the perfect look or whatever.
Yes, I think it was that, and just they're very popular already. I can tell, but they were both really good, and his teammate Jihao also really good vocals and everything too. Like they both did a really good job. This was like very, very high quality performance.
To me, it just it wasn't terribly exciting.
No.
Because that song is not terribly exciting. Again, it's it's a great song. It's a fantastic song, but it's more of a cool song, not a punch in the air stuff. He did fantastic. So I was happy because I really pictured in my head And then again, they wouldn't have put him on the poster and stuff if this happened. But
Yeah.
I was picturing in my head, he was like, ah, like horror, take me home tonight, that kind of stuff, you know, or rat-ta-ta-ta. I thought he was going to be really bad. Not bad, but, you know, just like, oh, you're pretty okay. You're 1 star. But then he did great. And I was like, well, this kid's in, obviously. I think he's number 1 right now, isn't he?
He's number 1.
I mean, give me a break. He's so in. He did seem deer in the headlights a bit, a little bit over. I think pretty nervous or something though, which is he could work on it. He could put on some confidence and stuff, but you know, it kind of makes you concerned sometimes. But I think
they did really well, but I don't have a ton to say about it. It wasn't like my favorite performance of the day, but it was definitely very high quality, and I respect.
Oh no,
they did a good job.
This is what reminded me of like. People like this reminded me of Hanbin from ZB1. Like you knew he was in from the beginning, and he was fine and everything. But to me, he was just so perfect. I needed something a little more either chaotic or edgy or something. But good for him because he's very talented. And his friend was really good too. And were these the two that said they knew each other for years?
I can't remember.
But I think that's why they put them together. They were friends, I believe. But anyway, fantastic, good group. Yeah. I mean, we might as well get used to him because he's going to be in the group.
Yeah. So here is our top 8 for C group.
Excuse me.
Which you actually, right now, are voting for separately. So you have a separate K group and a separate C group top 8. The top 8 that is currently voted at this time by everyone is Anshin in first place. A lot of the top 8 members, the current top 8 overall for C group, have not performed yet. So I don't know why they are in the top. And I don't know, like, if they're, like, known from something else.
Maybe they have, like, a fan base or something.
Some of them that are getting a lot of votes here.
We'll see them next episode.
People know them from, like, other competition shows they've been on.
Oh, right. Well, China has a lot of really intense competition shows, right? Like, really fanatical stuff, so.
Jinshin, Ziyi, Yi Chen, those 3 have not performed. I don't know them. Jia Young was the little cutie kid in the white baseball team.
Oh, that's cool. At least he's popular, you know.
Jin Yu, Zwan Hao, and those 2 have not performed yet. I don't know.
Yeah.
Then Kai Wen. Now that I look at, I can't remember which group.
Yeah, the portraits they take are often rough because it looks like a driver's license.
It's so tiny, I can't.
Yeah, you need to see him in a costume or something.
But that's my top 8 is Lim Jack, of course. His partner in the team, Bo Hang.
I would have put somebody else, but that's cool.
No, the 2 of them.
They were good.
Christian, who we know from Boys Planet, the first Boys
Christian
Planet.
had a very sad story in Boys Planet.
He's in my top 8 because I would like to see him. He has not performed yet.
I think it'd be good.
But I want him to stay around.
Yeah.
Similar situation with Dang Hong Hai, who was also from Boys Planet.
Oh, right,
He was the Vietnamese trainee, I believe.
Yes, okay.
He has not performed yet. He's in my top 8 for now because I want to see more of him.
Very cool.
Sin was the new trainee in the striped sweater.
Oh, he's good, yeah.
But Bo number 1, Bowen, for the good vocals is in my top. And then Anshin because I think they did well, and his teammate, Jiao. So
yeah, good.
That's my top 8 for now, just based off of those performances. The true, like, if I were to only have one top 8, there would be Lim Jack. And then, like, maybe some of the
and the thing is tomorrow, whenever episode 3 comes out, we'll see the remainders of both. This is what I think. We'll see the remainders of both group, because there's not so many.
I don't know.
When are they going to show them? They're going to show them at the last.
I don't know if it stays separate for the remainder and then their first training.
No, I think, here's what I think. The remainders of both groups, because there's so few, it'll go faster. And then the rest of the episode, meeting each other, starting your first day of practice and your first challenge.
But I think they're going to be separate for a little bit longer because they're doing the signal song. And those were separate.
Oh, I see what you mean. So maybe have like a K Planet theme or K Planet couples episode and then a C Planet. Maybe,
think so,
maybe,
because they're doing the signal song test next.
But what I'm saying is, we will see these people unless they were zeros and they skip over them kind of fast. So if they were any good, we will see them.
Yeah.
They're not going to skip over anybody who was one or above. I don't think so. So I imagine there's some good ones in there. I mean, so far, it's been about 25% have been really. They are raising the standards a bit. I'm glad, because with how the other previous shows, if you were really bad, you still stayed on the show. And while it allowed you to get better, it did kind of eat up time from the really good ones. And so I'm always for less people, just because you get more time to know less people. You get much more time with them. So that's cool.
Yeah. So I think that's it for this episode 2, the initial C group auditions.
Yes. Tap in on me.
That Lim Jack. The Lim Jack Show.
Okay, but we haven't seen Ryan, the other Chaos. I thought Ryan was the Chaos King. Lim Jack,
I
so
need
far.
Ryan and Jack to meet each other. They're in separate groups.
They would just cancel each other out, like two protons or whatever. They would.
I think they would be friends.
I don't know. I think they'd be exhausting. According to the preview, Jack is wearing out the dance master. What's his name? I'm sorry. He's wearing him out. Sexy doesn't feel so sexy. He's crying, which is sexy. Your emotion can be sexy, right? He doesn't know that. It's cool. And then I don't remember the rest of the preview. Go watch the preview now. Yeah. It's on the YouTubes.
Yeah, I don't remember. We will be back here on the channel this coming weekend, either Saturday or Sunday, with episode 3. Really excited to get through the audition phase. I always feel like the first part of the series where they're doing the signal song tests and stuff is the most boring part of the show.
The signal songs are usually, because the signal songs are boring, but then you see the same song over and over again.
I like the auditions, and then when they start to do teamwork.
Yeah, it's about a group.
But the signal.
Well, why are we
testing?
What I don't like about it is why you test them again. Just put them in a group and start going. Come on, we got jobs here, people.
So we're about to be in the valley of the show.
The doldrums a little bit, maybe. But you know what? A little Lim Jack, a little chaos going on. Might be fun. Might be entertaining.
Okay. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching / listening. If you liked our podcast, please make sure to give the video a like, because that'll help people find it, and subscribe to the channel so you will be updated when we post new episodes.
Yeah, good idea.
Yay! Thank you so much, everyone.
Go Lim
See you
Jack.
next week.